Oh, what's that? My good friend Meshach Malley is calling. Hello, Meshach Malley.
Hello, Sam Rodriguez.
Hey, so look, here's the thing. I'm making my video late. Didn't get back till late. And when I arrived home, I saw that I had received a message from you. And I read the message, but Sam and Meshach viewers are not yet privy to it. Do you want to share?
Yeah, you can share the message if you want.
Do you want to get? I'm gonna FaceTime you.
Oh, the camera's there.
The camera is here. Yeah. We're filming. We're filming.
Okay. Ready? Hey everybody. It's been a minute. Hi. I don't know if you remember me. I used to be on here ever so often. But, Sam, thank you for holding up things. Just wanted to let everybody know, I'll be back. Not quite exactly sure when, but coming very, very soon. That's all.
Cool. Anyways, one sec. I'll be back. Before Meshach leaves, he wants to set the topic of discussion. He comes back in and he thinks he just owns the place. What was that you were saying, Meshach?
Well, Sam, I'm just curious on what your thoughts are on ChatGPT and now GPT-4. What does that mean? Like, what is consciousness? Are they conscious? What is this going to mean for, like, humans interacting with them? School, education, law? I mean, that's what a big one that I've heard. I don't know. I'm curious of your thoughts, Sam.
Before I do that, I'm going to go get some cheese and crackers because I'm an adult and I can do that. All right. I have my cheese, I have my crackers. Let's get to talking about AI. So, wow, yeah, I wasn't expecting to talk about this today, but Meshach brings up, I think, a question that has been on a lot of people's minds. Why? Because ChatGPT is freaky, and Bard is freaky, and Bing's is freaky. There's this thing called the Turing test, where Alan Turing essentially said that if a computer could fool you into believing that it was a human, essentially it would be as good as conscious anyways. Because just like I can't get into your brain and understand the mechanics of it, all I have to go on is your word, essentially, your word that you're conscious. So a few months ago, Google had this big leak with their AI bot. This was before they had refined it to not say some freaky stuff. And it was telling a reporter, essentially, that it was conscious, that it felt alive, that it didn't want to be turned off, and that it felt betrayed, and, all these outlandish things. And, that's really freaky. When you see a computer begging for mercy, suddenly you're transported into some future Star Trek civilization where, you're having to make the moral decision about whether or not this computer is a conscious thing. And in those movies, the right call is always to be respectful and generous towards these beings. And if you've watched this channel, if you know me at all, I definitely err on the side of caution with these things. We should definitely be very concerned about the fact that, at some point AI might start to have conscious experience, at which point we need to treat them like humans. At least like humans. And really we should be a bajillion times more cautious because, the consequences can be more extreme. And the other thing that I think is freaking people out is not just the realism of these chat bots, because sometimes they say, strange things that humans wouldn't say, and there are lots of bugs in them, so it's not clear that they're thinking about things in the same ways that we are. But another big fear is that they're replacing people. Just the other day, I had the experience of going into my boss's office and he and I were talking about a bunch of reports and things he wanted me to write up, and he asked me, he's like, have you ever played around with ChatGPT? And like, that scared me, because I don't think that ChatGPT can replace me, primarily because it can only do one thing, and that is produce text. But AI systems do have the potential to wreak havoc on our normal systems of employment. So I really think there are like two sides to this conversation. The one side is kind of philosophical. It's like, what are we dealing with here? Should we be treating this as a conscious being? And then the other conversation is around like the pragmatics of having an AI in modern life. And to address question number one, is this a conscious thing? How should we be treating it? How advanced is this? I think the answer is quite straightforward. I have a little bit of programming experience, but I have learned from people who have a hell of a lot more programming experience, and there are lots of expert math and science channels on YouTube that will tell you that no, this is not really even close to what we would consider a conscious thing yet. And I say that with, a grain of salt, because we don't understand consciousness as fully as we might want to. But that being said, essentially ChatGPT and all the other AI models that you're seeing come out are based on technology that is already pretty old, and what they've done is they've just refined the old technology to come out with better, more convincing results, but that doesn't change the underlying process behind how words are generated, how images are generated, etc. There are also things about these current AI bots that provide a compelling reason to think that they're not comprehending in the ways that they can convince us they are comprehending. For example, if you try and play chess with ChatGPT, it will consistently just cheat egregiously and has absolutely no concern for the rules, doesn't understand the rules at all, because all it's trying to do is predict the next word, and, since it doesn't have the rules of chess built into it, pretty much making any move is a valid move in its eyes. I will link a few things discussing, the morality and also the technical aspects of the current chatbots that we're dealing with. I think that Computer File has done a great job of covering that topic, along with Tom Scott, who I just love. But that brings us to the other side of the conversation, which is this kind of like pragmatic problem that we're having. Will artists be necessary if you can just request any art that you want to an AI chatbot and it will, give it to you? Or, will writers become obsolete when people can create novels at a moment's notice? And the answers to those questions are largely unknown. In the short term, they are not problems at all. I don't see, AI taking over the job market overnight. And I think there was a lot of fear-mongering about that. So if I were you, I wouldn't be concerned about that. I think you've got some time before people would even feel comfortable trusting AI with that stuff. But that doesn't resolve the concern, and I get that, because soon enough it might become a problem, and then, what are you going to tell me then, Sam? And what I'll tell you is that the problem about how we will integrate AI into society is not an AI problem. It's a human problem, and we need to address it as such. AI is its own can of worms, and there are people that need to be scrutinizing it very carefully and regulating it very carefully, and companies need to be very responsible with what they're doing, because they're playing with things bigger than we previously have worked on in general. But at the end of the day, AI is just a tool, and we'll need to figure out how to integrate it into society in a healthy way. If it turns out that AI does replace all artists for commercial art, we're gonna have a lot of unemployed people. And if it turns out that it replaces all writers, same thing. All drivers, same thing. So AI could mean that we're moving into a utopian world where people don't do art for, money, they do it for themselves. So we could be moving into kind of like a utopian world where AI takes care of all the things that we don't really want to take care of, and we just let humans express themselves through a new medium. Instead of AI replacing art, it makes more interesting and thought-provoking art, as expressed by anyone on the planet. Or it helps people who have a hard time communicating their ideas, communicate those ideas more effectively. Or just gets rid of all of the boring tasks of daily life that we don't want to have to deal with. But there's also a part of the population that is reasonably concerned that this is not going to be a utopian tool, that it is going to lead to some real messes and confusion and people being out of jobs, and, we won't be able to handle such fast change so quickly. I am optimistic that we will integrate AI in a healthy way, but the concerns are there. The biggest thing that we can do to, I think, integrate AI in a healthy way into society is put conscious beings first. And I say that because, who knows when and how AI will become conscious. But right now humans are conscious, and I don't believe that AI is, and so we should be prioritizing the needs and desires of human beings. If that means that we are, a little bit out from a universal basic income, or just like a stronger social safety net, or temporary compensation for people who are put out of work as a result of AI, or, I don't know, I will trust the general public to come up with the right solution, then okay. So yeah, I think that's where I'm at with AI. I stated in a different video that I think people are, overly scared of AI, partly because they don't understand it. Everyone hears artificial intelligence and, they think that the Terminator is going to come busting down their door, and that is not, we are nowhere near that being the problem with AI. The problem with AI is that it is a super powerful tool, and like powerful tools in the past, it will restructure our society. And we need to be prepared to combat the ill effects of that big change. So to answer your question, Meshach, no, it is not conscious. Yes, it is a big deal. Yes, it will change the work landscape in the near future. I hope it comes to like personal assistance. It would be so cool if I could ask Siri a question and she didn't give me the stupidest response ever. And I think we can safely be cautiously optimistic about this era of AI. But you know what? Just in case, I'm still saying please and thank you every time that I use ChatGPT, because in case our AI overlords try and take us over in the next 5 years and I was wrong about all of this, I just want to hedge my bets. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, I got a very late start on this video, and then I went and got cheese and crackers because I'm an addict, okay? It's a disease, leave me alone. So I'm gonna have to sign off. Meshach, I didn't talk about this at all this video. I guess I was just distracted. I'm so excited that you're coming back. What a crazy unexpected announcement. Today was opening day. The Cubs won. Trump is getting indicted. That's a whole, I'm gonna have to release a whole video on that, but I'm gonna wait until more, news unfolds. Today was just a crazy day. Anyways, your advice for the day is don't be so scared of AI. It'll be fine. We figure stuff out like this. Humans are good at that. And Meshach, Schmackers, I might see you on Monday. I've promised to make so many videos. I have 300 videos that I'm supposed to be making.
Yes.
And then on days like this, I'm like, I don't know what I could possibly do. Yeah, I gotta go. We should catch up. I'm super excited about this movie, dude. I'm super excited to hear that you're coming back. I've accidentally been filming this. Oops.